Yo, Scrawny with the skinny, back at it for a fantasy land. And fantasy fatigue is a very real condition. It's much like seasonal depression. Kind of creeps up on you, sinks in all of a sudden. And with fantasy fatigue, I know you're thinking, man, this is how it's going to end. There's 4 events left. 4 events times 25 points, that's 100 points. Think about where you could be if you had 100 points between now and the end of the season. That's what you shoot for. That is your goal. It has to be my goal because Rubet and Thunderpick didn't go too well. Online Counter-Strike, folks, it's the bane of my existence. For Rubet, the Goblins finished top 56% thanks to the performances of Big. Spirit not to play. For Thunderpick, I replaced Spirit, who then ended up having a better event. Still, again, committing to Big, top 75%, just kind of missed it. Is what it is. So here's the leaderboard now. Mr. Kikure has taken off to the goddamn moon. 182 points for Maniac, followed closely by myself and Prof by 149. And when I say closely, I don't really mean it. Seems like Maniac could have won the season off of the last 2 events, but there's a small chance he blows this lead and one of us can still pass him. And if not, I know all these hungry bastards are down behind me looking to surpass myself and Prof, relatively seasoned veterans of the fantasy land or fantasy top 3. All right, me, Prof, Maniac, we got to keep the rest at bay. All right, and we got some Americans knocking on our door. Maui, Darf, Nart, P2 in the mix, back off of another great performance with one of the online cups. Yada yada yada. Get to the damn point. All right, we're talking about CS Asia Championships 2023. It's another weird event. It's got weird teams. Group A, Ents Tai Lu. Now, Ents losing Snappy soon, so things have been reported, and with a stand-in. Astralis is going to beat Lin Vision. I think that Lin Vision and Tai Lu are the 2 Asian teams that show up and play better on LAN. Lin Vision a little less so than Tai Lu. Oddly enough, there was a recent Asian qualifier that Lin Vision just beat Tai Lu in, but that's a domestic. Head-to-head, that is what it is. I think that when you look back at like the Pro League results, guys like Tai Lu, then Cyclone off the last season, come in swinging. So I'm going to say that Astralis beat Lin Vision. And I'm going to take a risk. I'm towards the end of the season. I will play the last few games properly come the fall finals, the world finals, and the ESPU event. But I think this is like the last time I'm going to have a chance to kind of take a Hail Mary swing. So I'm going to say Tai Lu beats Ents into the upper final, Astralis over Lin Vision, and then Astralis beat Tai Lu. On Group B, I think Mao's smoke wings up easy. FaZe should dispatch of Ninjas in Pajamas. And then between FaZe and Mao's, FaZe takes it. FaZe, absolute favorites to win the event. They just won their Thunderpick event. They just won IEM Sydney, first CS2 LAN. I mean, this is a roster that has absolutely hit the ground running in Counter-Strike 2, and I don't believe this event will show any signs of them slowing down. So 2 FaZe players mandatory. Here's the draft. Oh, by the way, group first place versus group first place. There's a lot of talk right now on how to kind of finagle this format with the other fantasy videos. And, picking 2 teams going 2-2 in one of the groups so that your second place team within that group can then, you know what I mean, go on the other side of the bracket, meet in grand finals, etc. I'm not putting much stock in this one anymore. That's the fantasy fatigue. I'm going with a little gut instinct for my CS Asia Championships. And that reveals the Dragons. The Dragons are coming in hot with a Twists Rain double phase. So I'm not looking at Kerrigan. I think that he'll get outperformed by the other 4 players. Rops, Brokey, Rain, Twists, all showing great form. Twists was a little bit rockier back at Sydney, but his online results showed some improvement that I'm willing to put some promise in. And if Rain hits the big stage, he could genuinely just end up being, an MVP type performance. That's what Rain does. Then I've got Jam Young and Mercury. Now, Mercury is somebody back at Pro League. If you go watch those videos, if you've been here for a little while, I put stock in Mercury, and then I didn't have the balls to take him when they were playing under the banner of Cyclone. But this time I've got that double Tai Lu. I got that Jam Young Mercury in your face type vibe. All right, it's a lot on Tai Lu. It's a swing. That's what I'm doing here. That's what I got to use this event for, me personally. Again, down bad after the last 2 events. Lost that lead to Maniac. Yes, I could try to defend my second place on the leaderboard from everybody else, but I'm taking one last shot at the man, and I'm going for that Jam Young Mercury Tai Lu double wombo combo. And then Rez, actually. Rez right now in the last month is like a 1.11 rating. Seems like, yeah, okay, there's some weird things going on with ninjas. They're in flux. Alex is in. We don't even know really what roster is actually showing up in Shanghai. So I think Rez has kind of been the rock of this team and has thrust himself into the space that was left behind by Brolin. And I think that Rez is, at this point, at $192,000 on Fantasy, a very viable pick. So here it is. Dragons, double FaZe, double Tai Lu, and a Ninjas in Pajamas, even though I think that they absolutely lose their opening game. In the off chance that they win that opening game and FaZe goes down into the lower decider, having Rez would be really nice. But I think the likelihood of that is incredibly low, to be honest. I just think that Ninjas are getting kind of swept under the rug because of this full faith in FaZe that everyone seems to have. Alternatively, listen, if you're not in a position like me with your season and you want to just play something a little bit safer, this is what I shout out. Twists Kerrigan. Kerrigan's affordability, balances out by the fact that FaZe will most likely win. Sure, you won't get as many points as if you were probably to go with Twist and Rain, but that extra amount of money opens up the Maus pick. I don't want to write off Maus. I think Maus are great. You guys know me, big Maus fan over here. And although with their online results, it was a little wonky. Sydney's hard to tell what was going on because they didn't have their 5th. And now Yimpat's back on LAN. So last time Yimpat's on LAN, he's an event MVP for the final CSGO event of the year, of ever. And then I slip in Jam Young still because, again, this is still faith in that Tai Lu upper bracket side of things. I think this is actually a really good draft. There's a chance I switch to it if I feel as though there's a ripple in the fabric. But for now, at the point of this recording, I'm feeling as though I still really have to go for one big swing at Maniac, and this will be the way I do it. However, this draft, you should probably take this one. Fantasyland, gang, we got four more events this year, so I'll be doing the next one for Blast Fall Finals in about a week or so. Peace.